Hello everyone and welcome back to game week 3 of the 2024-25 Optegra Championship here at the Lee Westwood Sports Centre, where you once again join myself, Ryan Sipple, for Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion Dudley. Hopefully a fascinating affair between these two. Haven't been disappointed with a single game this weekend. Hoping that's a continuing trend. Manchester United looking to claw their way back into that race for third. I'll show you the table once I've gone through the team lineups, but they have new recruit Joey Levine. He's actually number 28, not 7, as shown on the screen. Number 11, Josh Slack. Number 25, Sam Taylor. Number 44, Shannon Smith. And number 77, Anne-Marie Robertson. The most notable absentee is that of Kieran Burns, which means they are switching things up tactically. And it looks as if Josh Slack will be getting what he wants, a role and responsibility out of goal, with Joey Levine adorning the alternate kit of Manchester United. If you can't see so, they of course are playing in their navy blue strip. Their goalkeeper Joey Levine in white with red and black stripes. Their challengers coming off the back of a brilliant 2-1 win over Leeds Dynamo's a strong squad. A large squad: Amy Sherman, Lewis Marshall, Jackie Banks, Jack Gorder, Laura Evans, Kean Collins, Noah Harvey and Jack Westmoreland. Their coaches Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert. Let's bring the league table up very quickly so you can see what a win would do for these two. Manchester United, with a win, could go within 3 points of third position, but they would have a game in, this would be their game in hand. So Villa Rockets Lions set to kick off in a few moments on Court B against Leeds Dynamos. Probably the favourites, you could say, to end the weekend in third. But Teesside Steel have just been formidable. 4 games played, 4 games won. I've lost track of how many goals they've scored. They scored 11 in their previous game alone, so speaks to just how impressive they have been. West Bromwich Albion Dudley with a win could go up to 19 points, which would see them leapfrog Manchester United in the standings. Consistency has probably been Dudley's biggest challenge so far this season. Coming into the 24-25 campaign, you could probably, I certainly had them right in and around that conversation for promotion and all that third place playoff. It hasn't necessarily materialised like that in games week 1 and 2. They have had challenges, they have seen some disappointing defeats, but they're picking up some consistency now, which is really helping their cause. And worth noting, this is the halfway point to before the start of today's action. That marked the exact halfway point for the season. So when you're looking at West Bromwich Albion Dudley, there still is several games to be played, 10 in fact. So hopefully they can get 3 points in this one. I'll be back very shortly. We are now back. I'm now delighted to be joined on commentary by Mr. Chris Gordon. How are you?
Should we try again?
We'll try again.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sipple. How are you? I'm very well, thank you.
I'm very well. I've enjoyed a fantastic weekend of football so far and hoping for more of the same in this one. Managed to catch any of the action?
Yeah, I've been watching on the live stream. I've watched all of Dudley's games so far. Caught a couple of the games as well. So standard looks good. Hoping for a good match here today.
Absolutely. I was just talking about Dudley, and I think it's fair to say that consistency has probably been one of their biggest challenges. When they play right and they get the formula right, they can beat anyone, and that was probably most notable in their earlier 2-1 victory over Leeds Dynamos. They were fantastic in that one. So no doubt they want to build on that in this one. And just referencing the table, a win for them here would see them leapfrog Manchester United in the standings, so it could be a really significant victory. But we are underway. Paul Yates, our central referee, complemented by Dave Morris and Mark Kerrison. The squads as they line up are as follows: Joey Levine, Shannon Smith, Josh Slack and Sam Taylor. And for Dudley, Laura Evans, Jack Westmoreland, Amy Sherman and Jackie Banks.
Yeah, I think going back to your earlier point there, Ryan, about the Dudley sort of trying to find that right combination. It's obviously a very big squad, isn't it? So 8 players in that squad, and I think from watching training over the last few weeks, they've been testing different combinations in that central area, and Jack Westmoreland's had a great game earlier against Leeds Dynamos and seems to have made that spot his own for now.
Yeah, I agree. Jack Westmoreland in their earlier win was fantastic, as was Amy Sherman, 2 goals in that 2-1 victory. I asked this question of Owen Swift on commentary yesterday when we was calling the action of Teesside versus Dudley. When you've got a squad of 8, which is obviously the maximum number at National League level, do you find it is a help or a hindrance? Because has that probably played into this lack of consistency that we've seen in the fact that Dave Lewis and Matt Gilbert are constantly trying to experiment and find the right formula to unlock their potential?
Yeah, maybe. I think if you've got a smaller squad of say 6, maybe you're pretty set in what players are playing in what position. Whereas if you've got 8, there's opportunities to mix and match a little bit and experiment with lineups. And I think they've struggled this season to find that consistency of a starting 4, if you like. But that's because of good quality throughout the squad. People putting pressure on places. So I think it looks like Dave and Matt have found a settled starting lineup now from the earlier game, but no doubt they'll look at the bench at some point for quality to come off the bench and to help change the game if needs be. Yeah,
exactly that. This is the way they started against Leeds Dynamos. Beyond that, though, you could probably only say that Laura Evans has been the constant presence amongst the 4 starting players. But touching on your point, there is quality on the bench. 15 goals for Jack Gorder in the 23-24 campaign. Kean Collins has contributed to some real successes this season. Lewis Marshall coming in, adapting to life for a new club. He'll be facing his former club in this one if he features. So a lot of intrigue and talking points. But really excited to see West Bromwich Albion Dudley develop. And it's been the case with so many teams this season that they've taken 1 or 2 weekends to really adapt to the pace and the level of intensity, and we're going to see them flourish in the final few weekends. So 2-1 in favour of Manchester United. A new looking approach for Peter Taylor, adapting to the absentee of Kieran Burns.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I just looked round to the bench to see if Kieran was here. It's a lot quieter without him here.
He was here yesterday, so I'll ask them at the break as to why he's not present today. But it does give them the opportunity to experiment with Josh Slack out of goal, and following a conversation with him after their 1-0 victory over Hull and East Yorkshire in the John Good Group WFA Cup, he just has been itching to prove his ability in a more attacking area, so this the perfect opportunity to do so.
Yeah, from what I've seen of Manchester, I think Josh has been playing a lot of his time in goal, but comes up for free kicks and set plays in the final third. Sometimes they mix it that way, so I'm sure he'll be itching to get around the edge of the box a bit more today and set himself for some big reverse spins and try and score a goal.
Doesn't quite come off on that occasion. Not quite sure the intent of Shannon Smith there, whether it was to try and angle it goal bound or return the pass to Josh Slack. Either way, Dudley clear their lines.
These are the areas, though, that Dudley have struggled so far this season. And there we go, it got caught out at the front post. I think sometimes it's hard to set up in that defensive wall and then recognise when to come out the box and when to stay. And sometimes they leave the space a little bit early and create gaps for the opposition. And Manchester have caught them out there at the front post with a great spin. Yeah,
they'll be disappointed with that, but just going back to what we were talking about a few seconds ago about Josh Slack wanting to contribute and be part of the attack, providing an assist there will surely help his cause to feature in those sort of positions as the season progresses. But no, brilliant way for Manchester United to start the game. They go 1-0 up after 5 minutes. Joey Levine shaping up to take this goal kick. Has to be careful of Jack Ebanks. He looks like he's ready to capitalise, which he does so initially, but Josh Slack puts his chair in a position to prevent any further trouble for Joey Levine.
Jack's managed to get some momentum up the court there and get the ball across to Jack Westmoreland in the middle. I think this is where Dudley will try and build a bit of pressure, hopefully get a couple of set plays in the final third and perhaps try and get an equalising goal. Referee's played an advantage on a 2-on-1 there. Good advantage for Manchester to break.
Yeah, nice physical battle between Josh Slack and Jack Ebanks. Josh Slack comes away with the kick in on the far side. Sam Taylor now the option on the left-hand wing. Shannon Smith on the alternate side.
Josh looks to be enjoying himself in that middle area though. He's got the opportunity to get stuck into a few battles now and sort of fight his way up the court, but he's looking to get that ball moving once he's created that little bit of separation.
It was a very political answer when I asked him about his football this season. Is he enjoying it, the role in which he's performing and the positions in which he's playing? And it was, I don't like playing in goal, but I'm happy to contribute and play where the coach wants me to. So he has been itching to get out and prove his ability up the court, and this won't hurt his chances. It will give Pete Taylor something to consider, as we're going to get our first substitute of the game. Well, certainly that was what was signalled. It doesn't look as if any are going to be made just yet. Jack Westmoreland to take this kick in. Jack Ebanks down the line. Finds the gap. Amy Sherman looking to score her third goal of the day. Just blocked up by the Manchester United defence. We're going to get that substitute now. It's going to be a double one. Noah Harvey and Jack Gorder on in place of Amy Sherman and Jack Ebanks. Neither Noah Harvey or Jack Gorder featured in their earlier 2-1 win over Leeds Dynamo, so they'll be looking to make an impact.
I think these are the areas where Dudley will be looking for success, just to try and get the ball across the top of the box like they did on that last set play. There are gaps, and the Dudley players are looking to sort of line their chairs up with the edge of the box area to try and switch it to the back post. Amy Sherman had a great shot on the last one, was unlucky not to find the gap, but these are the areas they'll be looking to try and exploit.
Jack Gorder to take. Now Harvey the closest option. Jack Westmoreland at the back post. see the intent there. Noah Harvey to act as the screen to Jack Westmoreland, but it needs laser precision if it's to be pulled off.
We'll have another chance here from the second corner. I think sometimes with those corner set plays, you can try and be a bit too accurate with it. I think if the player on the back post can sort of angle their chair outside the box a little bit more, it just allows the taker to hit towards a penalty spot, if you like, and have a bit more room for error. Not quite sure why the ball came in a little bit slow there. Not sure if it was a bit tight by the wall for the set play, but they'll be looking to try and exploit that corner kick by the looks of it.
Josh Slack advancing all the way from his goalkeeper area to that top left-hand wing. As you said, capitalising on the lack of power on Noah Harvey's corner.
Laura's done well there to get the ball under control and get up towards the halfway line and then keep that inside player advantage to win the kick in. Dudley will be trying to link the ball now, but it's a good game, isn't it, Ryan? It's end to end. There's moments of quality around in the final third, looking like there's opportunities to score goals. Both keepers have been involved.
It speaks to how closely matched these two are in the standings. With this 1-0 scoreline, Manchester United would, of course, increase their buffer and would go up to 18 points. 21 points. If Dudley were to win, they'd go within one of Manchester United. So that race for third is so intriguing. We've all fairly safely assumed that GBG Knights and Muscle Warriors will comprise the top two positions of the table come the conclusion of game week 5, and in turn, of course, secure them automatic promotion. It's that third place playoff position that we're seeing 4, 5, potentially even 6 teams fight it out for, these two included. Likewise with the 2 teams currently competing on Court B. Villa Rockets Lions taking on Leeds Dynamos. As you can see on your screens now, that's still goalless. Shannon Smith trying to find Sam Taylor as an attempt on goal.
Just a little flick off Laura's chair there, wins this side of corner. It's one of those games, if you can get that second goal and get that 2-0 lead, you back yourself to sort of see the game out and take the 3 points. But at 1-0, it's quite end to end, and if Dudley score next, it's anyone's game.
Shannon Smith into Josh Slack, fired into the side of Laura Evans, called into action at the second time of asking.
Yeah, you could see he enjoyed that strike at the edge of the box there. He's been itching to be in these positions, as you said. The ball popped to him on his reverse spin there, and he smashed a great strike at goal and forced the keeper to make a save.
Next up on Court A, we have first versus second, GBG Knights versus Muscle Warriors. It's one that many are eagerly anticipated. Both have won 12. Both have played 12. Both have won 11. Both are unbeaten, and both sit on 34 points. You talk about a 50-50 fixture. That most definitely is one. Not just that. The winner, of course, will put themselves as probably favourites for the Ultimate League title. There's still a lot of football to be played, but it certainly won't hurt their chances of lifting the trophy come May.
Yeah, talk about Super Sunday fixtures. That's one not to miss. That I'll be looking forward to watching the action there. 2 teams that have had great seasons already, and you know they'll be looking at the table thinking that promotion's more than likely, but you want to win the title, don't you? You want to finish the season holding that trophy rather than just promoted in that second place.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh Slack trying to carve out the room to fire an effort goal bound. He's playing some really nice football, finding those passing lanes to Shannon Smith and Sam Taylor. Just penned Dudley back in the past 5 or so minutes.
Yeah, Manchester really building the pressure now. It's a great ball to the back post and a good save on the goal line.
Yeah, well trapped by Jack Westmoreland. With them absorbing so much pressure, I want Jack Gorder and Noah Harvey just to anticipate a break should the ball come to them quickly up the court, ready to capitalise, staying in reverse. 20 goal contributions Jack Gorder got last season. Hasn't quite hit that form so far in the 24-25 campaign, but nearly finds the gap there.
Yeah, that was nearly right on cue, wasn't it? He struck that ball lovely, got great power at the front post.
That's been a reoccurring thing for me this weekend. Normally it's curse of the commentator. I'm not sure what the opposite is of that phrase, but often I've been referencing players and their games and their strengths, and they exhibit it right on cue. Gorder to Westmoreland. He's going to have an attempt. Well read by Josh Slack. Looks to break quickly. Sam Taylor vacating the room to give the captain the room down that right-hand wing. That's well worked by Jack Westmoreland. Didn't give up, broke up the play, and has turned defence into attack almost immediately.
Yeah, Jack's done really well there. Got round the ball and got it under control quickly, and managed to break up the pitch and find his team in attacking position. These are the areas I'd like to see Dudley try and utilise the goalkeeper a bit more. I heard you on commentary yesterday, and there was one set play where I think it went behind Lewis Marshall and he smashed a reverse spin to the back post, but it was crying out for it to go back to the goalkeeper to switch it from a better angle.
The angle in which we're sitting, I know exactly what you're referring to. Laura Evans was perfectly positioned to capitalise, and whilst it was a really good passage of play and pass from Lewis Marshall, I can't help but feel it would have opened up play and options more. It's something that you obviously instill in your players at West Bromwich Albion and England level even. So it's something that they could probably look to learn from and put into their own games. But it of course comes with elements of risk. If you're going to your most defensive players, it invites the press, and it needs very accurate, precise passes to pull off any attacking manoeuvres anyway.
Of course, and I think in time with experience and the team finding their roles and what works for them, they'll probably look to utilise that a little bit more. At the moment, they're having success with the sort of three outfield players, if you like, finding the ball, moving the ball in that sort of triangle. But as mentioned, sometimes there's that better angle, a little bit deeper to switch the ball, and there are those pockets of space when teams are defending the box so rigidly. So maybe in time they'll start to introduce that into their training methods and see if they can bring it to the National League.
Yeah, and with the further context, Manchester United certainly, when referencing the table, are a better team than Dudley so far this season. So maybe it's something they'd look to utilise and apply to their game against lesser opposition when they've got maybe a 2 or 3 plus goal buffer. But I've been really impressed with Jack Westmoreland so far today. Haven't had a great deal of experience watching him in that central role, but he's making it his own, and you can understand why. Jack Gorder over to Noah Harvey, back to Jack Gorder on the edge, and a crucial block by Sam Taylor, but they've got a really nice fluid system in attack, Dudley. You're seeing Noah Harvey, Jack Gorder and Jack Westmoreland all rotate to accommodate each other's positions on the court, and you're not seeing that dip when Jack Gorder occupies that central role, and or Noah Harvey. Nice interception. Joey Levine's going to need accuracy on this, which he doesn't manage to find. Laura Evans now supporting attack. Going to have an attempt at goal. I think she was almost caught in two minds. She shaped up as if she wanted to shoot. Noah Harvey was never ready to receive the return pass. So it goes out for a Manchester United goal kick, but in the last minute or so you've seen a real shift in intensity for Dudley as they desperately search for that equaliser in the final minute.
Yeah, some real tempo coming to the game, which is nice to see. And I think both teams have got the quality to speed the game up when they want. But Dudley are on the front foot, finishing the half strongly and trying to get that equalising goal, as you say. Laura stepped into the line there as the central player, and like you say, almost got set for that reverse spin, and it was almost premeditated, if you like. And Noah wasn't quite ready, but the way they just moved that ball that little bit faster just caught Manchester out of position and created an opportunity to score a goal.
Final 30 seconds. Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion Dudley 0. Jack Westmoreland into Jack Gorder.
Well worked there by Josh just to get the ball back in towards Sam. Could have been a 2-on-1 perhaps, referees played on. Jack really does get the ball on his back wheel there and force his way through, if you like. He's very good in a 1v1. He can manipulate the ball really well with all parts of his chair.
As you can see from that graphic, Villa Rockets Lions 1-0 up against Leeds Dynamos on Court B. I'll show you the live league standings at the half-time break. Dudley ending the half, the stronger of the two teams. It's only a Shannon Smith opener after 4 minutes, which sees them separated by a goal. You have to say, since that, Dudley been the more assertive, been the more attacking. They're committing players forward, and that signals the end of the first half. Manchester United 1, West Bromwich Albion Dudley 0. Let's bring up their live league standings very quickly. You'll see that this potential 3 points for Manchester United would see them go up to 21 points. This of course, factors in a potential 1-0 win or 3 points for Villa Rockets Lions as well. So just when you're referencing third, fourth and fifth in the division, 3 points separate them, but the race for third is heating up. Thank you to all that are tuning in, to myself and Chris Gordon. We'll be back very shortly for the second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to Manchester United versus West Bromwich Albion Dudley, currently separated by a single strike scored by Shannon Smith. West Bromwich Albion Dudley did grow in confidence as the half went on and looked the better of the two teams. Looks like they've switched things up at the break as well, bringing on Keane Collins in place of Jack Gorder. Lewis Marshall as well on in place of Noah Harvey. Thumbs up from both keepers, and we are back underway. You're joining myself, Ryan Sipple, and Chris Gordon for the action live. Next up, Muscle Warriors versus GBG Knights. First beat second. The winner would put themselves in the driving seat and probably would dub them the favourites for the overall title. But here it's more of a race for third in the 24-25 Optegra Championship, with both teams fighting it out to secure that playoff position. And just for context, whoever finishes third in the championship will be placed in a playoff fixture against whoever finishes 10th in the Premiership for one single place in the 25-26 Premiership division. Keane Collins here looking to have early involvement. Two on one in the favour of Manchester United. Can they replicate what they were able to do in the first half, scoring in the first 3 or 4 minutes? Josh Slack into Shannon Smith.
Already a lively start. Already a lively start to the second half there. Good little combination round the box from Manchester, working that ball towards the back post, and a shot at goal. Good save by Laura, who's broke up the pitch towards the halfway line. But Manchester started the half well, pushing for that second goal.
Yeah, they have another opportunity there. Sam Taylor not able to catch up to the ball once again. Had he stayed in reverse, just would have afforded him a little bit more momentum. But credit probably owed to Keane Collins for just breaking up that progression of Manchester United's top goal scorer this season on 5 goals. Man United coming off the back of a disappointing defeat to joint league leaders Muscle Warriors earlier, so a win here would see them go back into the swing of things. Off the back of Jack Westmoreland's chair for a corner.
And we're in the danger zone.
I think it'll be alright. Shannon Smith will be just out of shot. She's taking the corner. Josh Slack well positioned to capitalise, as is Sam Taylor. Goes to Josh Slack, reverse spin kick, beautiful goal.
It's a great finish. It's almost intentionally sliced that across the goal towards the back post. He sort of took the power off the spin and let it sort of run across the side of his chair, and has directed that right to the back post. It's a great set play and a great goal.
Yeah, we've spotlighted Josh Slack and how he's been itching to get out of that goalkeeper jersey and be able to contribute to the attacking output of his side, and he's showing why we were so excited to see him in that central role. A goal and an assist, and now Manchester United have a 2-goal buffer, which you spoke about as being so important, and how it puts the game much more out of reach than the one-9 scoreline does.
Yeah, Manchester can just decide to try and manage this game now a little bit more if they want to, take the sting out of it, keep the ball in a dribble for a little bit longer without looking to force flicks. They can really take the pace out of the game and force Dudley to try and inject that themselves, and in turn sometimes that can lead to another opportunity to score that third goal. Seems to be an intentional plan to try and win corners though from these set plays. Manchester are looking to just strike the ball into the defensive wall and let that go out for a corner kick for the perhaps better angle.
Yeah, that was disappointing on that occasion. Sam Taylor not quite making the contact. But be interesting to see what Dudley do now. They have the game to chase. What changes they look to make, both from the bench and tactically, to try and influence the scoreline in their favour. We talk about 2-0 being a comfortable scoreline for whoever possesses it. There's a cliche in football that it's a dangerous scoreline, because should Dudley go on to find the next goal, it halves the deficit, and in turn would probably mean that momentum's in their favour. So the game is still there for Dudley, but they're going to have to find those passing lanes in attack. Haven't been as proficient in their press, with Jack Westmoreland as the most defensive of the four players. So I'd like to see him resume the role he was performing in the first half as the aggressor.
Manchester have really started the second half well, really putting Dudley under pressure. The game's that little bit quicker, and Dudley can't seem to get their defensive setup early enough to restrict the space. But credit to Manchester, they're the ones that are forcing that.
Josh Slack just rebounds it off the side of Jack Westmoreland, who just guides it out of play. Dave Lewis on the far side talking to his four substitutes. He's got Noah Harvey, Jack Gorder, Jack Ebanks and Amy Sherman all waiting to get on the court. Kean Collins fires it down the court, met by Lewis Marshall. Hello everyone and welcome back. We do apologise for the drop in coverage. Hopefully we are back up and running now. As you can see from that graphic and the comments, Shannon Smith has just converted to make it 3-0. This turning out to be a really impressive performance for Manchester United. During that dip in coverage, West Bromwich Albion Dudley did switch things up. They brought on Jack Gorder, Noah Harvey and Amy Sherman to try and influence the result in their favour, but Manchester United adapted to that and have just registered their third goal of the game. All the way to Noah Harvey, just couldn't quite get the time in to capitalise. That arguably Dudley's best opportunity to register a goal all game with less than 5 minutes to go. It would have been nothing more than a consolation, but a good opportunity nonetheless. Say disappointing for Dudley this one. I think they would have come in with expectations following that earlier 2-1 win over Leeds Dynamos, but you have to give credit to Manchester United and most notably Josh Slack.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's definitely been positives there for Dudley to take out the game. I think credit to Josh and Manchester United there. They've worked the ball really well in the final third, created a couple of great opportunities and got the ball to the back post to find gaps to score. But I think Dudley obviously will be disappointed by the scoreline, but what they could perhaps look back on the video and try and find out reasons why perhaps they weren't quite there at the back post to finish off their own attacks, and perhaps also why certain movements led to goals against. But they've certainly given a good account of themselves. But as you say, credit to Manchester. I think they've deserved their victory here.
Josh Slack into Shannon Smith, trying to switch the play to the recently introduced Anne-Marie Robinson. On court B, impressive 4-0 scoreline in favour of Villa Rockets Lions over Leeds Dynamos. Nanglis Montvillas adding 2 more goals to his impressive tally. Scored a hat-trick earlier today. He's on for another hat-trick. He has less than 5 minutes to try and find it, but what a fantastic day he and Villa Rockets Lions are having. We'll show you the live league standings at the conclusion of this one, but that will be really significant in that race for third. In this one, Manchester United have been fairly comfortable all game. They opened the scoring after 4 minutes. They weathered a little bit of a late storm in that first half from Dudley, and in the second half it's been fairly one-way traffic. Josh Slack with the second after 23 minutes, and a second goal for Shannon Smith after 34 minutes to make it 3-0. They've got an opportunity here via this indirect free kick, or direct free kick, to score their fourth. Josh Slack to take. Shannon Smith just trying to position herself between Amy Sherman and Jack Westmoreland. Be interesting to see what Josh Slack does here. Out to Anne-Marie Robinson. Pick off into the box. Trapped by Amy Sherman. Once again, brilliant work from Josh Slack to just read the advancement of Jack Westmoreland and ensure that he doesn't get close to the United half.
Yeah, Josh has really controlled that middle of the pitch. I think there was some flash points in the first half where him and Jack Westmoreland had some good battles and sort of 50-50 in there, but in the main, Josh has controlled that area. He's limited Dudley's attacks, and they've had a few set plays around the box, but in open play, Josh has swept up really well and sort of smothered their work, if you like, and and kept his team in the game.
Final 30 seconds, Chris. Player of the match, please.
I've been really impressed by Manchester's goalkeeper as well. Is it Levine?
Jerry Levine,
yeah,
yep.
Very composed, very calm back there in the box, and sort of just does his role really well and sweeps up and clears it out of the box. But I think for an overall man of the match for me, I think Josh Slack would edge it with the way he's managed the game in the middle, the quality in the final third. That reverse spin to the back post for the second goal was a very experienced strike. He didn't try and overhit it. He used the power on the ball from the set play and guided it to the far corner. And I think he's managed the game well for his team and has been a big part of the reason why they've picked up the 3 points.
Yeah, great win for them. This Manchester United's final game of game week 3, so they'll be ending their weekend on a high. West Bromwich Albion Dudley face Nottingham Forest in the final fixture of the weekend, 4:15, which gives them a perfect opportunity to right the wrongs of this performance. Full time on Court B, an emphatic win for Villa on this one. We have full time as well. Manchester United 3, West Bromwich Albion Dudley 0. Let's bring up the live league standings so you can see that win for Manchester United sees them go within 3 points of third, 21 points from their 13 games played. Villa Lions up into fourth with 24 points from their 12 games. They have a game in hand over Teesside Steel above them, so really intriguing, most notably because they play Muscle Warriors today at 4:15. So whilst Chris and I prepare for GBG Knights versus Muscle Warriors, it will be just as intriguing to see how Villa fare against the joint league leaders later today. Thank you to all that have tuned in. We'll be back very shortly in the 2024-25 Optegra Championship.